Good afternoon, this is Dennis Sullivan. We're going to demonstrate a hotel. Actually, we'll simulate a hotel with two different arrays of rooms. So let's pull a sketch over and get a good feel for what we're doing here. So this upper array has 8 rows by 6 columns and for a total of 48 cells. The bottom array has 6 rows by 4 columns or 24 cells. Now you can see that on the bottom what we're simulating is the hotel rooms, but you can see that the distance between the rows, between the columns, is different. So you can have a wider unit, or frankly you can also have a wider rows and wider columns. Let's move this out of the way and let's move right into the demonstration. On the right you could see it's called an AS6 auto sampler. This is a production auto sampler in volume production. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clear my terminal screen that's on the left, and I'm going to do some carriage returns until I obtain my NightAP ready. That tells me Chris's program is going to pull up NightAP ready by issuing those commands. And at this point he can issue NightAP commands like one home. Now watch the Z-axis, that's the up-down axis, or in your case the shovel axis. It homes first, and then you do a quick X and Y home. Now the reason why I had the shovel move down all the way immediately is I wanted to get the rod that you see there all the way down so you can see what cell it's at. Now these aren't perfectly aligned mechanically, but pretty squared away. It's good enough for the demo. Now, right now, what we're going to do with this test tube rack is just use 48 cells of that test tube rack, and on the right, the wall plate, we're going to use all 24 cells, or 6 rows by 4 columns. Now let's look at how we've set that up. If I say one mode equals array, one print, I have an array of, it's a 3-axis application, there it is, and I have configuration A is 48 hotel rooms, and configuration B is 24, right there. And the rows and columns for each, you can see that there's A has 8. It has 8 rows, and the distance between those rows is 2073 encoder counts. And the columns for A is 6. There are 6 columns with the same number at 2073. And again, those can be different distances. And B is set up the same way. B is set up as B is 6 with 2940 between them, and 4 columns at 2940 between them. So let's take a look at where we are here. From here I can do any command. I can do a one cell 1 comma B. Well, that's going to take me over to my hotel. Now what I did over here to get this position is, I'm going to move this around. Now what you would do is do relative moves or absolute moves to move that guy right over cell A1, and once you've got that, you just do one set A1 comma B. I put an extra space in there. It's one set A1 comma B, and that sets it, and do a one save, and that saves it, flashes it to memory. So for now on it'll be there. Now if I say one cell, since it knows that the distance between the rows and columns, if I say one cell 24 comma B, it's going to go to cell 24 on array B. If I say one cell 1 comma A, it's going to take me back to the first cell in array A, and let's do a one cell 48 comma A. And let's issue an inappropriate command. Let's do 1 cell 50, comma A. Well, it comes back and tells me that I'm out of range. Now let's do a 1 home. And we're back. You don't need to do a home after each move or after each exercise. I'm just doing it here. I wanted to get back to home. Or I could have said just 1 cell 1 and it would have taken me there also. What I want to do now is move to one mode equals setup and 1 print. Now what I wanted to show you here is you got a lot of setups here. I know this is busy the first time you look at this, but we're 8 years in the running on this code, and it's very mature code. It's out in the field with hundreds of different applications. And what I have here is a Perl. You can set up jam detection in both negative and positive as a percent of the peak torque. So jam negative for axis 1 is 70%, and jam positive for axis 1 is 70%. And you can see that the axis 3, or the shovel axis, is set at 90%, a little stiffer. What does that mean? So if I go, I'm going to make a move. I'm going to say 1 move 1. Actually, I'm going to do 1 cell 1 B. I'm going to try to go out to that cell. Well, you can see that I had about 10 pounds of force. It jammed quite a bit. I can set that to 2 pounds if I wish, but I have that set so that somebody gets their bow tie caught in the apparatus, or something caught in the apparatus, it jams and it knows where it jammed. So if I say 1 print POS, it knows exactly where it jammed, and it didn't lose position, because here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say I'm going to issue that same command again, 1 cell 1, comma B. That's going to take me out there. Now, obviously, it's not there because when I jammed, I physically moved the location of the device. I got to get things back arranged. And 1 cell 1 comma A. Okay, 1 cell 1 comma B. And we're moving back and forth to our correct positions. Let's do a 1 move 1 cell 48A. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to jam it in this axis. And I jammed it. This time I kind of braced it so it didn't move the whole assembly. So it jammed. Actually, it jammed the X. I jammed both the X and Y. What I really wanted to do is jam just the Y. So what I want to do is do a 1 cell 48 comma A. Let's try that again. This time we're just going to jam this axis. Yeah, so I just jammed the y-axis, so I caught the y-axis. It's going to catch whatever axis whatever axis you've caught it in, x or y or h and v, and it's going to stop. It's going to see that jam wherever that reactive force is, and it's going to, if it peaks above its percentage, it'll jam. But here again, you haven't lost position. 1 cell 1 comma A. It's going to take you right back to cell 1. So you haven't lost any position. That means that if you're in the middle of a run and you accidentally bump into something, you don't have to rehome and start all over. You just go to the next. Remember the last command, and Chris can issue the command again, and it'll try again once you've cleared the jam. So that really covers most of what I wanted to cover. One more item. Let's do one mode equal motion. And let's do it one print. And you can see I've got my velocities here. I've got accelerations of about 1500 millimeters per second squared for H and V. And for the S, I've got 800 millimeters per second. Decels are set the same. I got a velocity of 375 millimeters a second for X and Y, or H and V, and 200 millimeters a second for the shovel, and a home speed of 60, 60, and 40 millimeters. And just to show you how that works, if I say one home speed 3, that's the third axis, is equal to 50. Now I say one save. Now when I come back, one print, you can see that we've now flashed 50 millimeters per second rather than 40 millimeters per second for the shovel axis. So that ends this demonstration. If you have any questions, give me a call. Thank you.